Hey, Heirs and Master fans, we're back with the Pentium Pro machine this time. And for a while now, I've been waiting to get a new video card for this unit because this old one can't do the 256 colors, which you kind of need for Windows 98 gaming. And with this overclocked, it feels like a pretty good Windows 98 machine with kind of fun Pentium Pro hardware. So today, if you saw my mail call short, we got in the replacement ATI Rage 3D. This one, of course, does have that BIOS chip that we were missing on the other one. Hoping this one works just fine. I don't see any issues with it. It came in really nicely shipped, and it should be a perfectly working piece. But if not, assuming that this BIOS chip is good, we should be able to go ahead and just take the BIOS chip off and use it in the other card. However, rather than risk doing any damage right away just to test that old card, we're going to plug this in, see if this works, and see if we can finally get the correct color scheme. Okay, so we've got our ATI Rage in and set up. We're going to go ahead and power on and just see. We've got high hopes here that we'll get not only a good picture, but no errors as we run this, and we'll get right to sound and everything that we've been lacking. I'm going to go ahead and just switch off the light here. We've got display, so that is definitely a plus. And test went fine. Good post. Getting Windows 98. Found our display adapter. And wants our Windows 98 SE disk. I don't know if I have it handy, but we're going to give it a shot. Of course, our sub is in the way. Let's see, one of these disks, I believe, these are Win 98. Just shift that back a little bit so it stops closing itself. Hopefully that's the right disk. Alright, that's obviously not the right disk, so it would help if I labeled these disks that I've been using, but I don't often burn CDs anymore, so a lot of these are just unlabeled for, honestly, just this one project. Alright, let's see if that does the trick. Okay, and so this is a Pro Turbo as opposed to the Rage 3D. Although I think the model number is the same. Alright, we'll go ahead and OK the restart. So far so good too. We haven't had any blue screen errors, which was the issue previously. And the hope, of course, is if this works out, we might be able to use that Sound Blaster eventually in this machine, although the onboard sound seems to be just fine. All right, we're going to go ahead and boot from hard disk. Windows 98 coming up. And there's that fatal exception. We did not get that last time. And again, not getting any sound out of the speakers. Now it could be that this is a powered set of speakers and maybe it's messing with the amplifier on the board. But either way, go ahead and shut those off for now. Let's just see if we can set our display properties to what we want here. Alright, and that doesn't look like that's going to let us, so we must have an issue with our display adapter. And so let's take a look. Yep. So that one is there, which means we may have to disable the the previously installed. Yep. No free I/O. Alright, so we have to get into our device manager. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and remove our Super VGA and do another restart. And why the display adapter driver knocks out the sound, I've yet to quite figure out. So if you have any ideas on why there's a conflict between the two, leave me a comment below. I'd be very interested to find out what may be causing that. Aside from Windows 98 just being, fickle, which could easily be the case. But the hope is, at this point, that everything just goes smoothly. Getting kind of an interesting stall out here. Undetermined NMI system halted. I don't know what that error might be, so let's give it the tried and true. Let's turn it back off and turn it back on again. Any good IT department will always tell you to unplug it, plug it back in. And to be honest, I think that stems from this era where if you had an error come up, your first real test is turn it off, turn it back on, see if it comes back. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And now we're not getting anything so far. Getting a post, but no display at all. Which is very interesting. Odd that it would post and not have a display. Single beep code error. So I'm going to go ahead and do the old tried and true again. I'm going to give it just a few seconds here. Actually going to go ahead and power off these speakers just to eliminate any possible conflicts that might be causing. Try it again. All right, there we go. We've got our display back. And our mem test is good. Good post. All right, we're going to go ahead and boot from the hard disk. got a blue screen there, so we have some kind of a conflict. Okay, plug and play monitor has to be installed. Kind of odd. It's looking a little more promising. Let's check out our display settings here. 256 colors. Okay, so we're now recognizing everything. Let's go ahead and go to 1280 by 1024. Just see how that plays. Nope. All right. Cannot display this mode. And hopefully this reverts. It should. There we go. And you guess 1024 by 768 is going to be our top. Okay. Yep, we'll go ahead and keep that. And I think that is fine. So let's go ahead and turn our speakers back on. And let's just see if we can produce any kind of sounds here. And I'm not seeing any kind of volume control or anything, so let's go back into our control panel. Interesting. Everything's hung up now. So notice the second I turned on these powered speakers, everything kind of goes wonky. Really makes me wonder if this is an issue with this particular speaker and being powered. Obviously, these were not designed for this era of technology, but my hope is that they'll work okay. I do have some speakers of the era that I can switch to, but at this point, I'd like to at least confirm I can get sound. All right, let's check our hardware. All right, keyboard. I mean, the keyboard's fine. So let's see. Multimedia. Show volume control in the taskbar. All right, let's just see if we get any kind of sound. Let's turn it up. Nothing. Okay, so we know we have some kind of a sound card issue. Let's check our devices again. Not sure. Well, let's go ahead and give it a restart now that we know that the display adapter is working properly. Let's try and restart it and just see if we get a good boot with sound. I will say I'm a little uninspired with how long everything is taking. And again, had not had any issues until we turn this on. All right, something's holding us up, but it was able to kill the task. All right, so far so good. We've got display. Post is good. Boot from the hard disk. Seems to be rolling nicely into Windows 98. And there is some nice audio. Their funky Windows 98 sound. All right. So let's just see if we can get this benchmark software to run. Well, all right. Let's just do it. All right, so we've got some testing on the benchmark. This is PC Mark 2002. And I've never used this particular benchmark software before, so if anybody has any recommendations or thoughts on what might be better for some of these older systems to use for benchmarking, I would love to get a link. So drop that in the comments below. Let me know what you use or what you recommend. And certainly that's something we can include in future videos. Got plenty of these older systems that could use a good test to see how they stack up. I will go ahead and save y'all the time here. I'm going to cut the video now. I will capture the entire test, but I'll go ahead and time-lapse it so you don't have to watch this in real time. All right, well, suffice to say the benchmark failed. So there you have it.